EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
The 24-yard line.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Going to keep this one. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
He finds his running back, Mixon. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
49-yard line.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
At the 39-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
They'll roll him out right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards. Mixon with a first down carry. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Burrow gets this one quickly out wide. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
It's a gain of 6. And it's third down.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Austin Seibert set to kick off.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
On 2nd down now, it's Robinson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Incomplete on the deep ball. Jesse Bates on the cover.
Here's Logan Cook now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bengals 7, Jaguars nothing.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd down.
3rd and 2, now Burrow. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Try and run with Mixon. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. 4 yards on the pickup, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Now they run with Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
That's where we are.
Joe Mixon, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 28.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2-yard line.
Throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now with Robinson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 2nd and 14. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Mixon. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Now 4th down.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. A desperation heave for the end zone. And that is going to be incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes... And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At the 44-yard line.
They run. Robinson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it, sliding out of the pocket. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went into the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he stopped behind the line by this Bengals D.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. They're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84, and on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. Give to Mixon to try to pick it up. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
A gain of 14. And a Bengal first down.
They'll run with Mixon. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
The tackle made by Miles Jack. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8. At the 30.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Jaguars nothing.
On second down, Mixon. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 30. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with second and a yard. Mixon. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars 16. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll run here with Mixon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Way to hold on to it now.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations. There'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They'll give it to Mixon. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. Here's a run with Mixon, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Once again, they run with Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. Escapes the sack. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Josh Allen. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
On the run, it's Robinson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Check 23. Check 26. Check 23.
A quick throw complete to Chark. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run here with Robinson. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
And 3.
Second down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5.
Again, it's Robinson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
This will be caught at about the 6. He takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And he converts, and it cuts the lead to 35-7.
Makes the score Bengals 35, Jaguars 7. Josh Lambo to kick off for Jacksonville.
And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers.